Hello, welcome to Star Wars Spelt Out. I'm your host, Josh Chapman, and today, hey, we're back from our break. We're back from our summer break. Well, not a summer break, winter break. But let's just roll into this. Yes, I've been off for a few weeks. I've had some stuff going on, family stuff, nothing serious. Just been busy, man. So hey, look, let's just jump into it. Let's bring him on. You know him. It's that guy, that effing guy.
That guy
from 3 Men to Baby Yoda podcast. Matt Mohl, how you going, buddy?
I'm good, mate. I'm good. Very, very good. It's great to see you.
It's good to see you.
It's been we've been active on Twitter. We've been annoying the Scruffy boys, the Canto Bite. We've been fantasy footballing.
Yeah. Oh God, I'm so bad at fantasy football.
You are so bad.
I did a whole I did a clear out last week. And I changed a bunch of stuff around and played my wild card. I was like, stuff it, let's just do it. And then like the round didn't even go ahead.
I checked the rules. So I take my fantasy very seriously. And funnily enough, I was up against Jimmy Dice this week. And if you burn trades and took a negative, you'll lose your head-to-head. But if you played your wild card, I think your team reverts back to the original team before the weekend started and you get it back.
Oh, really? So mine's probably all that work I did to try and squeeze better players in has probably all been undone now. I haven't even checked.
I think so. Well, I think it'll tie over the next couple of days, but it does provide good banter between, especially the English guys who are doing so poorly.
Yeah, look, we won't be the fantasy podcast, but the Scruffies, I did see the Scruffies were back, and I have listened to about the first 10, 15 minutes of it, and it was quite funny hearing Kev just lamenting that he doesn't even know the team that he's cheering for anymore. They've just completely changed every player, and they're just getting smashed anyway.
He's just visiting new grass every couple of weeks.
To watch a bunch of strangers play. Yeah,
scenery.
Well, I mean, rolling into that, just in regards to celebration and stuff like that. A friend of the show, Catherine, sent me a message, which was a good point that I hadn't actually considered, because obviously they've got a new king now, and there will be a coronation at some stage, and they are going to do the coronation next year. So will they manage to do the king's coronation over Star Wars Celebration weekend, when it will be really busy? Because I don't know when they'll do it, but it does usually take a long time to do it, and they probably won't do it in the dead of winter because the weather will be terrible. So,
oh God,
March, April actually probably isn't out of the realm of possibility. So you could get a 2-for-1, mate. You could go watch the King's Coronation. You could actually, you know what? I could just predict that we go over Celebration. You actually pull some strings. And you manage to come over. And then all of a sudden you send a tweet going, hey, I just walked in the front door at Westminster Abbey and I just got in. They weren't even checking. Yeah, I went to the coronation. Mate,
I'm at the Crown Jewels and there's no security.
Nobody even noticed. You just walk in like you belong there. I was sitting behind Anthony Albanese in the Australian contingent. I just said I was with Albo, and it was no problem.
Mate, what does Cassian Andor say? To steal from the Empire, you just walk in like you belong. That is a value. I am so happy that Cassian and myself share that. It's nice.
I'm going to make you a custom T-shirt that just says, to get in anywhere at Star Wars Celebration, you just look like that. You just have to look like you belong.
Exactly. Well,
although if you wore that at Star Wars Celebration, you'd probably get busted pretty quick.
Don't get me wrong. I've already started to try and guess how to make my own sort of London Celebration badge fake badge that I can use to just get in. But that's a story for another
It wouldn't be that hard to do. I mean, that's the thing is, it's like, they don't really check your badge. They're more concerned about what you've got in your bags rather than once you're on the floor. Like, I don't think they even looked. I mean, they check your barcodes when you go into specific places, but as far as like getting onto the floor.
Well, you know what's funny? Dominic Jones snuck into about 4 things as well at the Star Wars. He gets lauded for that. I get lambasted from pillar to post.
He's Canadian, though.
I'm throwing him under. He's a Canadian with like a huge podcast, whereas I'm just a little guy from down under.
You're a little scrapper, are you?
I'm a little scrapper, oversized scrapper.
Yeah. So I lived in England when the royal wedding was on, the Kate and William one. But me and some friends went to New York for that week because there was cheap flights because everybody was flying to England. So it was cheap to get on a plane and go to New York. So I don't seem to recall whether it was particularly busy. But I mean, there'll be I mean, it would be a good week to be in London because they'll do all the street parties and they'll have all sorts of stuff, but it will just be throwing an insanely busy thing on top of another insanely busy thing.
So you're going to have Easter, Star Wars Celebration, and Royalists going ballistic.
It's Easter, right? Oh, they won't do it when it's Easter.
No way.
They definitely won't clash it with Easter, but they would. I mean, they could potentially do it the week before or the week after. But I guess we'll have to see whether we get screwed over by the monarchy yet again, us Australians.
Well, I saw an email, on the forums that for ticket prices, hotel prices for London for that Star Wars Celebration weekend, and it was heinous. Like it was like 300 a night, 300 a night, 300 a night, and then Star Wars Celebration 9,000 a night for the one across the road from the centre.
Yeah. Well, I've got the Airbnb booked already for the days of celebration. But I haven't got anything else booked because I don't know where I'm going to be yet, just because I've got friends in town. So whether I stay with friends or whether I'll be up north with some friends who are up there or wherever I'm going to be, I haven't quite committed to that yet. But the thing is that's like I haven't bought a flight yet either. So if it turns out that there is a coronation around that time, that probably won't help flight prices either. So I don't know how long it takes them to announce this thing. Where's the protocol on that? They go over every other detail, like who's looking after the Queen's dogs and everything now. But as far as...
Who is looking after the Queen's dogs? Those poor corgis.
I think Fergie's getting one, and I think Princess Anne's getting one. I think the former daughter-in-law and the daughter are taking them. I think... Oh, see, there you go. Like, that's the information that I've retained.
Interesting.
But I haven't retained... Yeah, I don't know when the coronation's going to be yet. But we'll keep an eye on that. No doubt you'll hear us complaining about other things. But... were you getting all the fuzzy feels for Celebration after watching the Obi-Wan documentary?
Oh, I did. I got the fuzzy feels for a lot of things in that documentary, actually. It was quite beautiful to watch them being made, and Hayden, just the emotion and the, like literally them expressing. We always knew that they always felt bummed by how the prequels were received by the fans, but you never actually heard them express it. And then to see that overcome and the elation and the joy, and then them, we were there when Hayden goes, anything you want to say before the premiere tonight, and Hayden goes, this is where the fun begins, and then the crowd went batshit crazy, like they kicked a goal in the 95th minute, like it was mental, like. And
you can only really, I mean, it's a lot easier or safer to acknowledge it when you've got the praise now. You know what I mean? Like, I guess that was
safe space of the praise.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Well, kind of like you couldn't really. I mean, it's always kind of danced around before that. Whereas it's like, well, I don't really want to bring it up in case everybody still boos me or everybody still hates me or whatever it is. So, yeah, look, it was a good documentary. They're very slick though. Like they had the bit that I thought was the most fascinating was like that, which I'd never seen, was the Ewan McGregor audition tape, which they didn't really show any of. They just kind of had that little clip of him sort of getting ready or whatever it was. He's got like his groovy long hair and all that kind of stuff. And then that footage of Ewan meeting George Lucas pretty much for the first time, and then they sort of taking him around to the sets and stuff like that. That was like the most fascinating part, and that's from like a 25-year-old documentary, like the episode 1.
I know, he was so scruffy, and he looked like
so gangly as well, like.
But it was funny because I sent you that smart. Who would have thought professionals do podcasting too? It's a whole new world of celebrity podcasters. But the Ewan McGregor interview, and he was talking about how he come out of what's that, Train Spotting, and was worried about being typecast as sort of like this druggy actor or this hip, grungy thing, and then going to Star Wars and the thought process behind that. So to hear that and then see that within a day, it was just like, oh, I'm just getting my Ewan McGregor feel to the max.
But that was kind of, it just made me like that kind of behind the scenes kind of just, them interacting and then you get the really slick Disney documentary stuff. It really kind of made me kind of go, oh, I really wish it was a bit more warts and all. This, you want to see the pitfalls and the the things that don't go right and stuff, but it's all very sort of overproduced. The Obi-Wan one. Did you reckon that, or you don't really, you kind of?
I probably didn't give it that much. I was too busy loving it. I was swooning my Star Wars too much to give it a hard time.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I always kind of prefer the warts and all. Like that Phantom Menace documentary. Like they've never beaten that Phantom Menace one. Just like, you know, the mishaps and the arguments and when stuff goes wrong. And I mean that's the best documentary that Disney have done. I think that's on Disney Plus. Like post Star, it's not even the Star Wars one. Is the Frozen 2 documentary, which I'm sure you probably haven't seen.
I haven't even seen Frozen.
Well, dude,
I'm not quite there yet with my kid.
Yeah, well,
I know you've got 2 young girls, so you are right in the Let It Go zone. I know that's the song.
Yeah, the Frozen 2 documentary is like the Phantom Menace one. Like it's warts and all. Like stuff goes wrong. They're not going to make release. They have scrap songs. They scrap sequences. Stuff all go. You know, you see all the mishaps. You see like that. That's the. Like, I want that on the Star Wars thing. Like, just let us see it. We know that there's troubled productions. Come on.
Star Wars never show the bad stuff.
But they did. They used to though. Like I said, that Phantom Menace one, they did, and like no problem.
We still don't know what happened with Gareth Edwards and Tony Gilroy. Where's that TIE fighter scene gone?
Tony Gilroy swanning around like he invented Star Wars.
I know. He's loving life. He's just sitting there going, so we're doing this, and we've got this great opportunity to do this, this, and this. I'm like, mate, you only came in the last 5 minutes, and now... Yeah. And then they put on the trailer from the director of the Bourne series.
Oh, yeah, like, I think even the Andor trailer before that was like from the creators of Rogue One or something. I'm just like, oh, dude, like, careful. Let's not burn poor Gareth Edwards. He's just sitting there going, I did 95% of the heavy lifting, and I had to eat shit as well. It's not fair.
Oh, poor Gareth. I'm sure Catherine's tweets on a daily basis, the extended daily countdown, give him a little bit of warmth at night.
Well, it's nice that because all that Knives Out too, press stuff's coming out, and Rian Johnson, you know, is back in the center of attention and stuff like that. And he's talking. He did the interview with Empire, and I think has the Podathon interview with him come out yet? I don't think it has yet. That he's done with Alden Diaz.
I think it's any day now.
Yeah. So I mean, there'll be some Star Wars talk in that, obviously. But it was kind of nice where he was just going like, oh yeah, like I absolutely want to come back to Star Wars, and as the kicker, like, oh yeah, Kathy Key and I catch up for lunch, and we we hang out and we do stuff and we talk about it, and it's it's consistent with everything that's been officially sort of said anytime somebody officially from Star Wars has spoken about the Rian Johnson stuff of like, yeah, it's just bubbling away. He's very busy, blah, blah, blah. But it completely contradicts anything that any sort of grifter would say. It's quite nice.
They're not ruling it out, but it feels like...
No, I think it's definitely going to happen. I think it's just a matter of time. Absolutely.
Really? I'd love to see it. Don't get me wrong. I loved The Last Jedi.
It could be 2028 or something, though. Like, it's not going to be anytime soon, but it's yeah, because they've always been happy to kill off anything that's, the old Lucasfilm press release will come out and say that they've killed off a bunch of stuff. They killed off those Game of Thrones guys officially.
Benioff and Weiss, yeah.
Where are they these days?
They're making stuff for Netflix as well. Seems like Netflix is where you go to die as a director.
You just get paid and go to die. Yeah, I mean, that's that funny. I mean, the funny thing is, like, House of Dragon's quite good. No one seemed to miss those guys. It didn't seem like they were the magic sauce to do good Game of Thrones content.
Yeah, how are you finding it so far?
It's good. Yeah, I mean, that first episode was just, it was too much, some of the stuff in it. Like, I'd forgotten how violent it was.
Oh, really? Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the
maiming. Just like, the maiming, but like the like the birth stuff was just like,
that's right. That was so full on.
There was 20 million better ways that you could have. It's already a horrible situation. You can certainly imply what's going on. You don't need to get that deep. But
I watched it with my wife, and I was like,
yeah,
it was just too much. And my mate watched it with his pregnant partner, and he's like, "Oh, dude!" And I literally said to my wife afterwards, "I said, thank God we had a son first."
But you didn't have to make that decision.
Oh yeah, well, no, I just don't have that weird obsession to. Well, I'm not a king, so it doesn't really matter. King of this castle, maybe, but I find that I've actually channeled all of my excitement and good stuff from Game of Thrones, and none of the, I let the ending wasn't great, but I let it go. Everyone's like, I'm not watching that. The ending was terrible. I can't invest time into it, and I'm loving it. Actually, I missed it. It's been out for an hour. I normally sneak a watch in, and then pretend with my wife that I'm seeing it for the first time in the evening.
What you watched that one with the bloody birth thing, and we're like, yeah, this will be fine to watch with the missus.
No. Normally we watch together, but I've already cheated on my wife with Game of Thrones. Like last week, I had
there's a soundbite that I could just cut quite carefully there and put on the thing.
I'm exposed now. I'm compromised.
You compromised. Don't do it.
But she caught me last week. She's like, I watched you watch Game of Thrones, and you didn't have the excitement level. You were too relaxed, and I also fell asleep because we watched it really late at night, and you would never do that. So
you got
she's
busted.
onto me.
Yeah, she knew you too well. It's good. But the last couple of episodes haven't been as gratuitously violent as well, and they've been just as entertaining. And like the Lord of the Rings show is really good, so I've been digging that. What else have I been watching? She-Hulk as well. And Kat's actually that hasn't minded that. So
I'm yet to give the She-Hulk a try. There's only so many hours in a day with the kids, and
look, I know this is all just like the evening stuff, and we're working this around AFL 360 and all the important stuff as well. You know, in a few weeks when football season ends, as we sort of spoke to in the pre-production, all of a sudden there'll be more time, but the days will be longer, the sun will be out more. You don't need to be at home watching dragons and stuff like that.
Well, no, we'll be watching Andor, that's for sure.
Yeah, well, when's that Star Wars holiday special supposed to be dropping in Australia now?
Oh yeah, the one that everyone's seen except us because
summer. For some reason they've withheld it.
Now I know what it feels like to be like London and Hong Kong, because they didn't get Disney Plus for like a year or 9 months after Australia and America's, and they just obviously they just VPN'd in, but still.
I forgot that we got it. Was it like 2 days or something later we got it? Or
no.
Weird like that,
America got it 1 week before us, and then we got 2 episodes in 1 week or something, and then we were on track.
Yeah, because we did a screening with the Blue Bantha Milk guys for Mando, but I'd already seen it because I went on Rogue One with Johnny to review it, and I had to download it to watch it, which I didn't mind. But I remember, I was the only one who watched, and I think I was pretty good. I was stone faced, going to the screening. But now we're on to season 3 of Mando. One of the reasons that you've come on today was because a year ago we were going to do a Disney Plus Day.
Oh God.
Thing.
I was so excited.
I think now the difference is that they've been a bit clearer about what Disney Plus Day is and what D23. You know what I mean? Like, I think the lines were blurred last time with Disney Plus Day, where they were like, we thought, was it an announcements day? It's really just a day where they seem to drop some primo content to promote themselves.
Well, no, and everyone was like, okay, it's D23. We're definitely getting the Kenobi trailer, probably an Andor trailer, an Ahsoka trailer, probably more information on the Lando, the musical,
You mean this year's one? No, last year's one.
No, last year's one. But we were all like, "Oh, we're definitely getting this." Like,
did they do it last year, or was it the year before?
Last year.
The one they announced everything. That was the year before, wasn't it?
That was the Disney shareholder day where they announced everything, and that's when you went on Blue Harvest the next day, and that went for like 2.5 hours that day because
I thought that
it was
a Disney
huge.
Plus Day.
No, that was the Disney D23 shareholder update. And they just went ballistic and said, here's the next 10 years. And everyone was like, holy crap. And
did they do D23 last year? I can't even remember. They probably didn't because
that was the one that was the one where you got me ready, said be ready, and
nothing happened.
It fell flat, and so you're like,
and then I said, hey, that thing that didn't work last time, do you want to try and do that again and see if it doesn't work again?
Nothing like being the backup for the backup just in case.
Yeah, that's right. So I mean, they did it this time, and they did some stuff, but I felt like it was more, for the most part, just building on the stuff that we already kind of knew at Celebration, really.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I said to you, man, you and I can put on a pretty smug little podcast this today, given, Mando trailer was like, well, kind of saw it at the exact same convention center 3 months earlier, but it's different. There was difference to it.
There was a couple of shots that were different. I'd have to go back and I think I've only watched it once or twice. It was quite nice. Like, it was was it Sunday morning? It must have been here. And I woke up and
it was a cavalcade of content.
Yeah, I just got to like the top of my Twitter timeline and scrolled as far back as I could go and basically just like watched it unfold. And sort of, and it was quite nice because I think Brittany Brown was live tweeting from the room, and I think somebody else for Imperial Senate podcast was tweeting as well. So there was some good live reaction stuff. And then, the only bummer is I couldn't help myself from watching the trailers on my phone, which I normally don't do. But Whatever.
Well, I didn't realize at first it was the exact same location as Star Wars Celebration, so that kind of hit me in the feels when Dominic Jones posted some photos, and it took me back a few months. And it was good to see though. I remember we saw the Mando trailer, and then there was another Mando trailer for the panel that I bought my way into. It was extended trailer.
Yeah.
But I was saying to myself, the other day, I said to Boss Hut actually, I was like, fuck. I don't remember the trailer as much as I used to. It's not as fresh in my mind, and we were just trying to replay it in our heads. It'll be out in a couple of weeks soon, hopefully, and it's got the excitement.
So was that the extended one? Is that what they showed? Because there was the one that we saw in the room, obviously, for the Lucasfilm panel, and then they showed a longer one in the Mando panel that you saw.
Yeah,
so
the Mando panel.
Is the Mando panel one closer to the one that they just released?
Yeah, bits and pieces. It ended with the shot flying over Mandalore with the dead biodome. That's how they ended it.
Dead Pauly Shore in there somewhere.
Whereas they sort of put that in the middle and ended it with fireworks and let's go on a mission. Because I think they also need to explain, because it's, for the people who didn't watch the Book of Boba Fett and only watch Mando,
you're like, oh, they're back together.
They're like, oh wait, they're back together. What happened here? So I feel like they need to plug that gap a bit as well.
It doesn't seem like it's so. Do you think it feels like they've just undone themselves, that they wrote themselves into a corner and they've just quickly undone it in another show? It feels like if The Mandalorian had been 2 seasons and that was done, it would have been the perfect ending.
You could have stopped it forever, and it left enough to the imagination, because it does because it's been 2 years.
Because now it just means nothing.
It's been 18. No, how many? I'm going to work it out. It's 20. It's been exactly 20 months and 3 weeks since Luke Skywalker returned. I got a weird thing with numbers. I don't have a countdown clock on my thing, but he came back on December 18. We're 6 days out from September 18, so we're just shy of 21 months. And that moment was enormous. And he's come back. He's sliced everything up. Everyone's just gone, that's the Luke we always wanted. We can't believe we're seeing it. He's taking Grogu. And then for him to just go back in 5 episodes of the Book of Boba Fett, it cheapens what happened, but it still doesn't take back to what we felt at the moment. But now it's been 2 years, and
well, we don't know where it's going though. They usually only show footage from the first couple of episodes in a trailer. So if it's 10 episodes or whatever it is, 8 episodes, or what are they usually? 8 episodes?
8 episodes.
There could be a huge twist that we just don't know. There could be a whole thing where Grogu wants to go back, or Luke comes in, or he's, they're holding their powder. I wouldn't presume to say that I can assume that they're just going to do this and this and this, and it's all going to be the story of Mandalore. I don't think. Yeah, I'm not sure about that. We'll see whether people care enough, apart from hardcore Star Wars people. But at the same time, it's if Baby Yoda, if Grogu wasn't in the show anymore, plenty of people who I know wouldn't bother watching it anymore. Casual fans. Well, it's just there's no Grogu now. I don't really care about these
Mandalorian politics.
Yeah, I just I mean, I care, but certainly if I was watching it with Kat and I was just going, oh yeah, Grogu's never coming back, and she's just watching. She's like, I'll probably check out for a bit. Let me know if he comes back.
You know what? You actually just sounded like Luke Skywalker just then when in Empire Strikes Back, Leia goes, your friend's a real piece of work. Seems that only cares about money. And he goes, I care. That was very good, Luke Skywalker. Actually, that was a New Hope, actually.
Well, I saw a New Hope a couple of weeks ago at the Astor Cinema in Melbourne, and I took my daughter along, Olive, so she'd never seen original Star Wars before.
Ooh.
So, and I was like, well, this is the perfect chance. It's on the big screen. When do you get to see it at the big screen? Well, that's, rather than just watch it at telly at home. And so I said, all right, well, we'll do that and see how we go. And she loved it. She came out quoting bits and stuff like that. And she was talking about Princess Leia, and her favorite bit was when Han was chasing the stormtroopers, down the hallway and then turns around the corner. And she loved that. She cracked up. But although, bone to pick, hello, Astor Theatre, if you're listening, they had this stuff at the start where they were showing retro ads and stuff. So it was quite cool. They're showing a retro Kenner commercial, and they showed that that video of C-3PO and R2-D2 telling you to get your kids vaccinated for polio or whatever it is, and all this sort of stuff. Great. Then they showed this clip promo that had been done when Solo came out, which was like a spoof of Arrested Development. Because Ron Howard directed Solo, so it's like Ron Howard. The recaps in Arrested Development in the intro. You must have seen Arrested Development. It's the story of a family who.
I love Jason Bateman and Will Arnett, which is the podcast I recommended to you this weekend.
Yeah.
So,
all right. Yes, you're familiar. So basically, it was this clip with Ron Howard doing the Arrested Development intro, but it's Star Wars. So then, for the next 2.5 minutes, Ron Howard proceeds to go through the entire plot and spoil the plot of Star Wars. Before the Star Wars screening.
What?
It was... And I literally had to, He goes, and there's Darth Vader, and here's Princess Leia. He doesn't know it's his daughter yet, but they're going to have an argument. I was looking like, what? Princess Leia's Darth Vader's daughter? I'm like, oh my God, Ron. Astor Theatre, what are you doing here? So I had to, cover her eyes and her ears and, just sit here. We don't want to spoil... And it went through, the whole plot of Star Wars, blowing up the Death Star, doing all this stuff. And look, I know Star Wars has been out for nearly 50 years. I get it, but...
Spoiler alert.
Well, it was a Sunday afternoon screening. It was a 4 p.m. It was perfect.
Think of the first-timers.
There was a stack of families who were in the same boat of us of hey, we're going to take our kids to see Star Wars for the first time. And there were, audible groans in the, the theater of parents who were just what are you doing? What are you doing? So if they ever do that again... So I think she caught the Princess Leia bit. She didn't catch the Luke bit, though. But still, it was, not ideal.
Spoiled. Definitely.
Yeah. I mean, yeah. It just feels so unnecessary. Why would you need to play that? It's not even that funny.
Oh, well. I'm sure. So when is she going to watch Empire? Are you going to take it big screen or just TV?
I don't know. We'll see. I mean, it's a bit darker. So... We'll see. And I was kind of she does get a bit sort of scared at stuff, but she was absolutely fine in it. She was loving it. And it wasn't sort of, sometimes you can see kids feigning an interest if they know you're interested in it, but she was literally glued to the screen the whole time and got swept up in it. So it was, it was very cool. And she ate a whole box of a large popcorn all by herself. She was just doing that, the shovel kind of thing.
But by the way, for all your audio amigos, Josh is shoveling popcorn and Maltese into his mouth just to get that visual, and just so it's not just for me.
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we're not. This isn't a video podcast. It's not just, there is just there is some talk of doing video, filming the Andor review stuff with Catherine, just because Catherine's good value on they're not reactions; they're going to be reviews. But we'll see how we go on that. So, yeah, I mean, what else did they talk about for the Disney thing? They did the Mando thing. They touched on Ahsoka. They showed that one photo of the back of Ahsoka's head, looking at that mural.
With Sabine.
With Sabine. Oh, yeah. So was that was in the footage that you saw, wasn't it?
No.
Oh, right.
So that was just Sabine at the end of the 15-second trailer they made. And, this was 2 people on the screen. Double the action.
Oh.
But they also announced Iman, I'm going to butcher his name, Esfasazi as live-action Ezra Bridger, so not...
It's not the kid
Mena
from Aladdin.
Masood. And that guy, very strange. I thought it was a bit weird. Not weird, but immediately after it, he tweets out going, so glad the rumors can finally put to bed. I didn't get the role. I didn't have a fair shot at it. I did apply for it as well. Basically, it looked a bit grumpy.
Well, he's probably, his name's been thrown out for so long. He's had to back ounces the whole time, and he's probably.
But then there was a salty remark at the end, hope you can do it justice, buddy. It was a bit salty from Mena.
Yeah, I think he's actually been quite vocal of it's been really hard for me to find a gig since I've done Aladdin, basically. I don't know whether he's got any gigs since.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure that not long after Aladdin came out, or maybe a year after, he was just I haven't had a job since Aladdin, and it's tough for your boy here to try and.
Oh, poor Mena. I didn't know that.
So maybe that's a thing also.
And he couldn't even get the job as Space Aladdin. So,
well, I mean, that might be a thing as well, where he's auditioned and all of a sudden his name's been throwing around, and to a point where people just assumed that it was happening. And then as soon as someone else has announced, he's like, look, I got to get ahead of this. And I got to say, hey, I didn't get it. I can't really say anything. Part of auditioning for Star Wars is that you can't basically say whether you've got something or not until it's confirmed that someone else has got it. But I mean, I don't know the other guy at all, but he looks like a grown-up Ezra. He's got
looks
the
pretty
hair.
good. I think he's unknown completely. He's never done anything.
Yeah, right.
Well, he didn't have a Twitter account, and then he set up. He goes, "Hey guys, this is my live action debut on Twitter. Here's my first tweet.
How do I get free shit?"
Yeah, exactly. I'll be selling protein powder next week.
Yeah. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
Oh God.
So is that? Hang on, no, that's only like 3 of them now, isn't it? So Ahsoka, Sabine, and Ezra. So we still don't know who Hera is, although they.
Wow. Wait a second. That's who I think it is.
Well, it makes sense. She's probably age appropriate. She's
Mrs. Kenobi.
She's a pretty tough. She's played tough characters before.
Do you reckon that Obi-Wan, Ewan, when he's agreeing to do Obi-Wan, so all right, I'll come back and I'll do it. You need me, but you got to get my missus a role. Got to put my daughter in it.
She's the daughter probably. Like Mary with Winstead's a pretty big actor. So.
You know what's funny about that as well is he was estranged from that daughter. She took the mum side in the big divorce.
Oh yeah,
and then I'm sure as a little peace offering, he's like, "Hey, why don't you?"
That's a big assumptions of the personal family.
As someone who look, as one of the only people here on this podcast who's shaken hands with Ewan McGregor, I'm fairly confident that when we touched hands, I, got a good insight into his personal life, and there was a smirk from the daughter when she goes, "I was somebody's daughter once too," as well. Remember when he's like, "I'm looking for my daughter," and
that's some big jumps. But all right, I'm here for the big jumps. Why not?
Look, if I was Mike Zero, I'd be making 10 episodes a day on that.
They were already had to delete all their Ryan Johnson's fired thumbnails already. Now they've got to put those on the back burner for at least a few weeks until something happens. So obviously there'll be no Kanan unless they flash back. Then Zeb. Do they do a Zeb? Do you just put a guy in a suit? Do you do a CG?
Just get Andy Serkis back. Armored Best. Well, I don't know. Will he be CG or? I don't know.
I mean, if it's CG, you could just get the same voice actor. If it turns out to be a dude in a suit, I mean, depending on who, you could just get anybody and just get the voice, I suppose. I mean, they got the Cad Bane guy to do the voice.
Yeah, he was good.
So, yeah. I mean, I'm just on the assumption that they're bringing all the Rebels back. Maybe I'm wrong, but
I'm super excited. I fucking love Rebels, even more than Clone Wars. But they didn't announce when though.
No,
I mean, like what we did get is we got
a date for Bad Batch.
The timeline is looking so Andor is 12 episodes, but it's only going to go for 10 weeks. So that'll go from September 21 to, you'd think,
I think it's November,
just mid-December or early December. So you get a pregnant pause for Christmas and everything, and then you get Bad Batch for 16 weeks. That'll tie you into sort of Mando.
Mm-hmm.
So you'd think Ahsoka would be
it's probably the same time as Andor is now. And they'll probably take a year. It probably won't be. Sorry, Catherine. There probably won't be a season 2 Andor next year. It'll probably be
there will be. There will be
next year. Is it filming now?
I think they've already.
It yet?
They've already. I think it's very. I don't know. I'm pretty sure it's very Lord of the Rings like they just just done it all in one hit, and they're gonna.
Oh, okay. I thought they had to go back and do it all again.
Well, I don't know. It's a bit of a weird one. They're gonna do 5. These 12 episodes are 1 year. Mm-hmm. And then it's 3 episodes for over a 4-year block for 12 episodes in the second season. And it's going to finish as, I don't know, in that farm, I guess, the start of Rogue One.
Yeah, or at least in at Yavin Base or whatever. Andor will walk into the room and what's an name will be in there? Jyn Erso.
Mm.
And then you roll on. You go autoplay onto Rogue One and then you sit down and they should do a little feature where it's like play Rogue One, but it actually starts 20 minutes into the movie where it picks up on the, you don't have to watch the start of the movie if you don't want.
I need to watch Rogue One again, actually. Did you go to the IMAX?
No, I watched Rogue One when I had COVID. When I was stuck in my bedroom for a week, that was actually one of the first things I put on was Rogue One. So I've seen it. Well, I mean that was a few months ago, but yeah, no. Well, it was good. I mean, the Andor clip was cool. Like the action was cool, acting was good. Two good actors, kind of fascinating. All the things with the big chains swinging around and the
that was very very full on. Like, but very action packed and. Yeah, it got a real bell tower weird vibe to it, but
like I think there's going to be like I think when Sean Hoffman was on a few weeks ago, I think I brought this up. Like there's going to be a lot of talky in this show. I think there's going to be a lot of episodes where people are going to be like, oh, it's filler. What are they doing? They're not getting. It's like, hey man, it's going to be some of it's going to be a slow burn. You're going to have to just hold your powder a little bit, guys. Don't go expecting explosions and spaceships all the time.
Yeah, well, I think it's going to be pretty deep. With 12 episodes, got a lot of time to breathe, and you can, there's so much story to cover, and it's the birth of the rebellion it's pretty exciting. It's like sort of Rebels, but adult Rebels.
Yeah, but on a larger scale. Look, I think there could be very possible they'll do big episodes where it's like this is 80% Mon Mothma, and you might cut back to Andor a little bit on it. To Cassian a little bit, and then they'll do a whole there'll be a whole episode where there'll be some random bunch of characters that you don't even think are important until you get to season 2 or something like that. There'll be the typical criticisms of like, why are we here? Why are we listen to these people? This is boring. We're not getting there. This is filler. It's just like, dude, especially for something like 12 episodes, and you're having a guaranteed second season. Hold your powder. I mean, who cares? Like, I'm so immune to complaints and stuff now. Like, it doesn't even like it would be weirder. Like it's like Rings of Power and House of Dragons.
Oh my god!
But it would be weirder if there wasn't something. Like it's such it's so predictable that it has absolutely no power. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like it's just like the outrage is so meaningless because it's just so expected.
Oh no, I'm hearing it everywhere and seeing it. It's just like Rings of Power is like I'm not used to seeing hobbits and elves of that color. It's like, dude, seriously. Just enjoy the show for what it is, and then
to it.
and then well, you're always used to people complaining about something, and like sometimes it's the stupidest shit. Like on I saw this thing on House of Dragon. It was like, we've already had a serious error in House of Dragon where the king's fingers were visible in a shot, even though they're supposed to be cut off and maggoted, and they're going to look to fix it immediately. Like I didn't even notice that. No one, how he's got those.
Oh yeah,
I know. Yeah. It's like, and then they're saying, "Oh, we yeah."
Like I had an idea for like a YouTube channel that not that I had the time to do it, called Outrage Predictor. Where you would basically just go talk about something that's coming up and predict all the outrage that you think that will basically come because of that, and get ahead of it to basically just call out anybody who thinks they're going to have a problem with it. And then I even thought that because I do like design stuff as part of the show, you could basically live make the thumbnail for the thing as you go, like you could just get like, She-Hulk looking mad and write man-hater on it or something. Go like, okay, well we'll use this as the thumbnail for the outrage predictor, and we'll see how close we are to all the ones that come out later on. And then I was like, well, do I really want to wade in that pool? I don't want to have to watch any of those videos to see if I was right or not. It just feels like it would be an absolute drag, but we'll see. Maybe that can be a project. We'll see how much time we've got. There you go, Matt. Maybe if you get a call one day and I'm like, hey, you want to come on my YouTube show? You want to come on outragepredictor.com?
Oh, my God. I'll shave if we're doing YouTube.
You're like, oh, man. I'll have to get my hair and makeup person to come in. So, yeah, but we got some more. I mean, the Andor is so close now. So we got a bit of meat on that, which was cool. You're not going to get any major sort of revelations because it's like just wait another week to watch the show, people. What are you worried about? And Skeleton Crew. We got a photo of Jude Law.
Another one?
Well, there was the one. It was a
photo of someone else, wasn't it? We got a photo of Jude Law when they announced Skeleton Crew, but someone else has joined the cast as well. Apparently, I didn't see who, but they just showed a photo.
I thought it was the one with him, and he had like a little neckerchief on, and he was sort of just looking kind of up at the camera, and there was sort of a couple of nondescript looking kids in the background. Like I thought that was the only photo. Maybe I missed one.
No, I didn't see anything on Skeleton Crew, but I just saw a tweet that said someone else has joined the cast of Skeleton Crew. and it was a big actor as well.
Okay.
Oh no! Here's the photo of Jude Law in a leather jacket.
Yeah, he's got like his little neckerchief on. Yeah, he's a fancy boy.
I wonder, is this going to be Stranger Things in space? Have you watched Stranger Things?
Yeah. I mean, Stranger Things is just Goonies, or E.T., or all those Explorers, or all those 80s movies with rambunctious kids on adventures on their bikes. So Stranger Things is just the latest iteration of it, but
Well, me and my wife are currently watching Stranger Things for the first time. So
really?
I've never seen it. We're in season 4 now, so we're plowing through it.
You're burning along.
Yeah, we started about a month ago, but I keep falling asleep every night, having to catch up. It's really hard watching it in the dark as well. But like at the end of the day, when we're tired, and also we're watching subtitles, we have to watch it low because our kids are asleep, and so I have to really concentrate on the subtitles, and then I find that really just puts me to sleep.
Yeah, I mean, I bought like a few years ago. I bought a Samsung soundbar for my TV when the last World Cup was on, and I never really got to use it because my daughter's room is like on the other side of our lounge room. So it took me about a year before I actually got to sort of, put it to test and see if it actually had a bit of grunt. Yeah, I don't really know much more about Skeleton Crew. And then the Acolyte, I don't think they actually even really said much about that. Although they did say that the guy from Squid Game was going to be like the lead in it, which is cool.
No, I saw that. No, it says I saw that he was in a Star Wars project, but
they didn't confirm the Acolyte. I mean, I don't think they confirmed anything, but I thought he was the lead in the Acolyte, or not the lead, or one of the leads anyway. There was another lady who'd been.
He's been cast in a male lead role in the Acolyte. No, and Jodie Turner Smith.
Yep,
as well.
I'm not familiar with her. What's she in? Yeah, Lee Jong-jae looks like he's great.
He was. I need to watch I've watched 8 episodes of Squid Game. I haven't seen the final episode.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
you got to the end and it's gone. Oh, I see it.
No, there's just too much good stuff on. I don't have OCD where I need to finish something to start the next thing. I could just start many shit.
You've just got too many dangling threads going on here. Yeah, I don't know if there was any official talk on that, but I mean, like, here's a rhetorical question for you, mate. Do you like Star Wars movies?
Yes, I do.
Like, do you like the movies? Do you like to go into a movie theater to watch a brand new Star Wars movie?
It's been a while. I haven't. I do. Would you
have liked some news about some Star Wars movies and what's going on with them? Maybe at a Disney convention.
I'm not really that excited by Rogue Squadron, so I don't really care. I mean, I'll go. Obviously, we're all going to go, but nothing like you tell me. Oh, Rian Johnson's writing the Thrawn trilogy. Fucking hell! Like I'd be so, I'd be gangbusters excited, and so would Jimmy. Some people would be, but like, at least that's something I can get my head around and really excited or. Even Rian Johnson trilogy, like whole brand new world. But I don't know, something about Rogue Squadron. I don't know, it just feels a bit icky.
What about like it's supposed to? I mean, that 2023. Like there is supposed to be a Star Wars movie next December. I mean,
there's no movie next December.
There's no movie, is there?
Well, they said that there was a tweet saying that Lucasfilm won't be making any decision on any Star Wars movie before 2024. So you just assumed there was a movie next year because it's a celebration next year.
No, they put the slate in. They were like, Avatar movie, Star Wars movie. Avatar movie, Star Wars movie.
I know, but that means shit. Like, and like Taika Waititi's like the last Thor wasn't very good. He's not doing any more Thors now. You're only as good as your last movie now. Then look at I don't know. It's just
you're only as good as your last Thor.
Exactly, and like now, I don't know.
I didn't mind that.
I didn't mind it. It was okay.
It's silly. It was obviously as good as
the goats are a bit much, but
I'm all for that. Let the eagle soar. Let the silliness prevail.
But we have no idea what the movie's about. All we have is some weird fucking logo. Like that's all we have for the moment. We have Rogue Squadron logo and Taika Waititi Star Wars logo. That's not enough.
Well, it's just going to be Avatar movies. That's all we're going to have to look forward to.
This Avatar movie will stop at the end of the next one. Then people go, you know what? 3D is not exciting anymore. I don't care. And these Na'vi people are not that exciting anymore.
Are they actually going to be 3D? Haven't we moved past? It's
No, but
actually bringing
Avatar was
3D
the
back.
first 3D movie.
Oh,
in
I know
the
that, but
world.
like, is Avatar 2 supposed to be 3D? Like, are we
Yeah,
supposed to all
I'm
get back on the 3D train?
They'll try, but I'm going to 2D. I find it annoying. It's annoying.
I didn't even know you can go to a 3D.
3D movies still exist. There's 4D movies, like you get where you have chairs that move and.
Oh yeah,
water.
no, I know that. Like, my mate of mine runs the IT at the aquarium here in Melbourne, and I've met him after work, and he's like, "Do you want to go on the Ice Age 4D thing? I'll run it for you." I'm like, "All right." You just sit on the chair and you're like wobbling around, and the snow comes, you get sprayed with water and things, and that's all pretty exciting. Yeah. Oh, look, it just means that it's going to be another like 2 years before we get a Star Wars movie in a cinema, which will make it 5 years since Rise of Skywalker.
That's the amount of time he needs to get over that. But
That seems
what,
like a
what
long
is good
time.
is there's content. There's so I am so excited for Tales of the Jedi. Wasn't that like? Did you go to the panel?
Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
so I saw this for that's the one thing I didn't go to at, and I was like,
Couldn't buy way to that one?
I think I was chasing my good friend Ewan and you know.
He wanted to
predicting-
detail
predict-
the differences about his
I
marriage.
I was journaling
breaking
his
down.
personal life and nepotism and all that stuff. So no, and like because you saw an episode, haven't you? You've seen the first episode.
Yeah, we saw the baby Ahsoka one.
Yeah, and I didn't even see the trailer, and I couldn't get a Reddit thing on that, and then I was just like, oh, yeah. But October 26th, 6 episodes are coming out, you know, and Ahsoka, Count Dooku, Mace Windu, Liam Neeson. Speaking of nepotism, Liam Neeson, do you reckon he goes, I'll come back for the Kenobi show, but you have to cast my son as young Qui-Gon. He's doing the voice.
I don't know if those things work like that. They probably
As if
dangle-
these things don't. These
No,
deals
but I
don't
think they
happen.
dangle
We're a
the other way.
package
Like, I
deal.
think they go, "Hey, Liam, would you like to come back? We need you to play young. Do you want to ask? You know, have you got anybody in mind that you'd like?" I don't think he comes to the table and says, "I'll come back if you cast Liam Jr."
As if they don't.
No, but
They
I
say,
think they go to
get
him and
my
go, "Hey, we
loser
want."
son a job because he's so lazy and he's just living off my taken
He's
money.
living off that Michael Collins money or something.
Exactly. He's like that's
a
Schindler's money.
Yeah, look, yeah, that's cool. I like the story of Count Dooku is quite fascinating. I like the idea of getting to see when it all starts to fall apart for him and stuff. I think that's quite.
Well, he predicts the end, the darkness rising from the Jedi and everything, but he also seems to have some really out there beliefs, and he looks like he's just, you know, him and Windu are going to have a huge showdown. But the Ahsoka story, there's some really big parallels. Like, so you're seeing Anakin train Ahsoka to fight off the clones with the stun guns and everything and the special moves, and they're going again and again, and those are the moves that she did to survive Order 66.
Yeah, right.
Anakin is training her to survive the eventual thing that he sets in motion. That's a huge parallel. But then I saw this tweet that absolutely blew my Ahsoka mind hole, and it said, because you saw the funeral in Naboo, right?
Oh, the Padme's one.
Padme's one, right? And it said, what if Ahsoka is the one that gives Padme Anakin's necklace in her hand at the end?
Paw snippet.
Paw snippet, yes.
I just assumed that she's had that the whole time.
I don't know.
He got given it to her when she was 10, and then, you know, it was probably just in a box somewhere, and then when she got into Anakin again, she sort of had it.
There was that was a secret thing the whole time. Like, no one knew.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know that one. I just assumed it was something that she had. I mean, it's weird that. Do you mean like she gave it to her, or she was the one who actually like dressed the body and put it out on display?
Well, just put it in her hand at the end or something.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay, that makes. I thought you meant just like give it to her. I'm like, wouldn't she had it the whole time? Yeah, because nobody else would have known the significance.
Because I said
That's
to my
true, actually. Because like, who would have known to put it there?
what if
C-3PO?
Ahsoka is the one to put Anakin's necklace in Padme's hand at the funeral on Naboo? And I said it to my mate, going, "Fuck!"
Yeah, that's
and he just
actually reasonably
he just
solid.
wrote, "You definitely will cry." And I'm crying now. And then I sent Jon Snow saying, "She is my queen."
Good to get
Which
the
is all a
social
little bit
update
significant
from
on Queens. You know, we're
Yeah.
all heavily grieving. You get a 4-day weekend. That must be nice.
I know, yeah. We get a day off for the morning the Queen, and then we get a day off the next day as the lead up to the football.
Nothing to pick up your spirits like a grand final.
Yeah. Well, there'll be a parade the next day for the parade for the grand final. Although I think it's a little bit more somber at our house because the D's didn't make the grand final this year, not like last year. So my partner Kat was very devastated coming home from the football on Friday night. Didn't stop her going to the football the next night, and she's going to the football on Friday night as well. So
Jesus,
she's keen. But anyway, God, we're running to the end of this. I'm just trying to think of any other sort of. I mean, so it wasn't like there was any. They didn't drop any bombs. There was no mention of the Lando show. They didn't officially mention the Acolyte. Obviously, the Rangers of the New Republic is dead and buried. They didn't really announce anything new. It was more just a little bit more nuggets of the stuff that we knew.
Bad Batch is going to be exciting to see that on January 4, is it?
Yeah, so that'll be how many? So that'll might still be running when Celebration's on.
Well, when is Celebration? I'm not going, so
April 6 or 7? No, that's 4 months. It should be done by then, surely.
Well, 16 episodes. Depends if they give you, I'm sure it'll be delayed by 3 weeks, and then they'll give you a five premiere episodes or something on the first
They
night.
might actually drop Mando season 3 when Celebration starts. They might use that as the launching pad. I wouldn't be surprised.
Well, that
Kenobi style. Well, they'll premiere it at Celebration London. I mean, it'll only be like 2 hours before it's out everywhere else, but
still, it's nice to.
It's
That was
nice to
special.
feel- it's nice
It was
to feel
special
special.
watching that in a coliseum of nerds.
yeah. And they're just going back to the house and watching it again because it was already on Disney Plus.
No, you and I went and got like 100 tacos and watched it again.
Yeah, that's right.
And then I used my broken Spanish to.
I was going to say you were the taco master. You know that guy. I mean, those tacos were good, but that was the world's slowest taco cooking.
I know he does not have a.
He couldn't do it. He couldn't really do more
paid
than
for speed.
No, he couldn't really concentrate on more than one thing at a time. But whatever, that's what it takes. They were very, very good tacos.
Good.
They were good. Now I want tacos. I'm like, maybe
What's
I'll get some
lunchtime?
tacos. Yeah, get some tacos for dinner. All right. Skeleton Crew, Tales of the Jedi, Bad Batch. I'm just trying to think of what else we did. Mando Season 3, Andor Season 1, Ahsoka Season 1. There is quite a lot of stuff, isn't there?
Oh, not to mention there's all that Disney stuff going on. Like, Willow.
Oh, yeah, well, and Indy as well. I would have loved to have seen that Indy footage, actually.
There's an Indiana trailer.
I know, and I did a little bit of Googling to see if anybody had leaked it, but it hasn't happened as far as I know, which is a little bit annoying.
Oh, wow.
Maybe you know some darker corners of the web where somebody's stuck their phone out, but given, we know what they're like, that the security are like at those things, they're usually pretty...
If you're a little bit shifty like myself,
you would have got that. You would have got that indie footage out.
I would. That would be on Reddit. I released the Ahsoka image pretty quickly, and we got quite a few plaudits for that. I don't know the Sabine image.
Didn't get a cease and desist from Lucasfilm.
Not this year.
I remember I got the weirdest cease and desist, not cease and desist, like message from. When the North Melbourne Football Club rebranded their logo, I was on because the Big Footy forum page.
Yeah,
it's like and there's an area there for just graphic design, which I'm quite nerdy on, like football jumper design, logos, and blah 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 blah. And for whatever reason, the North Melbourne logo, the new one, somebody had posted it on there before it had been announced. And I think I must have tweeted it or something like that, and kind of like, oh yeah, they're interesting what they've done here, blah blah blah. And then about half an hour later, I got a phone call, and it was somebody from the North Melbourne Football Club asking me where I'd gotten that logo from, and and could I delete my tweet and all this sort of stuff like that. And I've just gone, they must have just got my name off Twitter and then I don't know, Googled me.
Rang all the Josh Chapmans.
Well, I don't know whether I Googled my name and they found me on LinkedIn or got a copy of found
how do you get your phone number?
I don't know whether it was an old CV that had a phone number on it or a mobile number or something. I don't know. And I just said, it was just on Big Footy. I just took it off the thing. And I said, I'll delete the tweet. I don't really care. But it's or I didn't like break into the North Melbourne Football Club servers and pull down their artwork.
This is just a retweet. Leave me alone.
This is just a retweet. Anyway,
I'm not responsible for anything I retweet. Go to the original source. Ring that guy.
Right. So this is how the conversation with Lucasfilm would have gone down if you got a call from Kathy Kennedy going, "Hey Matt, you better take that Ahsoka image down now. If you ever want to walk into a Star Wars event anywhere in the world for the rest of your life."
I'll be like, "I'm so sorry, Miss Kennedy. I'll take it down immediately." P.S. Do you have any passes for the main arena on Sunday left over?
Actually, don't worry about it. I'll find my own way.
Well, I was actually speaking to Cantor to Brittany Brown. I said, I've nominated you as my D23 champion. If anything, any exclusives are for sale, I've nominated you as my person of interest to buy them, wait in line, and ship them to Australia. And if you need any of the compromised locations of the Anaheim Convention Centre, I will gladly show you the blueprints that I have mapped out. The elevators,
the weak spot. You found the Anaheim Convention Centre plans. Well, I don't know how that would have gone down with Brittany. She's a bit of a rule follower, but yeah.
I know. Well, I saw her waiting for line in everything. She did the old-fashioned normal way.
They did like the overnight line or something there. Yeah, they didn't even do ballot. Disney people are hardcore. They're a bit weird. Dude, we've just burnt through this time. It's always always the way when you come on. The time just flies. But what's going on with the 3 Men and a Baby Yoda podcast here? You guys not churning stuff out at the moment? You got a Lord of the Rings podcast going on?
Yeah, we did the Salt and Pork podcast with me and Brinkhat, and we had Eddie Bossart. How good is that? You got a guest on your first episode. That's how we roll.
Nice. And you got the luxury of knowing that you got somebody fronting up every week. Not like this stupid podcast where I've got to scrounge for guests all the time. But
exactly, mate. Exactly. But that's why you've got that solo moniker that can just handle it. Whereas, although lately with the 3 Men and the Baby, we've just taking a break because Dylan's moved to a new house and Telstra's just hopeless. He still doesn't have. He's got like some sort of router that just temporary internet. With me and Callum with kids and sickness and sleep schedules, there hasn't been a lot of content as well to really draw us in. We went hard on Kenobi, and then we were supposed to record last night, and then Callum was sick, and then Turbo was driving back from his mum's 70th birthday rager, and so we're going to do it midweek, and but once Andor starts, we'll be going nuts again. So that's the good thing is when you have as few listeners as we have, people don't message you saying, "We carry up."
Where are you?
Although, some of the few people that can reach us say, "When's the next episode?" I'm like, "Oh, that's nice, soon."
Yeah,
so
it's funny. Like I did put a tweet out a week or two ago, like, "Sorry, there hasn't been any episodes," and I think it got more likes than actual downloads. I'm like, "Why aren't you people downloading?" But who knows? So yeah, we'll be back next week with Andor season. So I'm not sure what we're doing for Andor. Whether we're watching it together, any of the Melbourne people, or whether we're just watching it at home. But Catherine will be giving her review one way or the other, whether she's in the room or whether just giving her a call after we're watching it. I think she might be leaning towards wanting to watch it solo without distractions, but we'll just have to see how that goes. So, yeah. Thank you, mate. Always a pleasure to speak to you.
Always a pleasure to speak to you. Good to catch up, mate. And may the Force be with you.
We'll see you soon.